Welcome to Break Fix's Drive-Thru News, your monthly recap for everything fast, fascinating, and usually four-wheeled. We're serving up a fresh batch of automotive headlines, motorsports madness, and car-adjacent curiosities, all with zero wait time and maximum flavor. From Formula One drama to concept car debuts, with garage-built legends to the quirkiest stories rolling out of the state of Florida, we've got your fix. So grab your coffee, buckle up, and let's cruise through the latest in the world of wheels, with a side of entertainment and just a dash of tire smoke.
What's up, Bradley?
Oh, just dealing with pink eye, having my kids having pink eye.
Wait, your eye is pink?
Yes, one of them.
I can't tell. It must be the quality of our cameras. They're just not that good.
Hmm.
Just don't look too deeply.
I'm a good like foot and a half, 2 feet from my camera, so it works out that way.
There you go.
What do they say about a bat? Like some paint jobs or like a 5 foot paint job?
The paint job on my station wagon is like a 25-yard paint job at this point.
Hmm.
That's okay.
The paint job on the Beetle is a doggy style paint job. It only looks good from behind.
Have you seen those products on Instagram where you can pour some Mervin's magical mystery oil on there and suddenly all your clear coat problems will go away?
The one where you're just wiping something on it and suddenly all the scratches are gone.
Yeah, there's that one. That's sort of like what was that stuff in the 80s, New Finish? Remember the guy would go to the junkyard and he would just start buffing a car? I'm like, come on, man. Like, really?
I don't think I've seen that.
They still sell that, I thought.
Oh, yeah. I saw one today where a guy was like, I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't really sanding the car, but he had that same clear coat peel that you had. It was on a Mercedes, one of those like cinnamon colored Mercedes. He does all this rubbed up scrub thing, and then he pours on 2 bottles of, I don't know what it was. It was magic in a vial, one on one side, one on the other. Maybe it was some JB Weld or UV sealant or something. Anyway, next thing you know, they must have driven in another car because you're like, wow, that is not the same paint that I saw 5 minutes ago as we accelerated that 5 month process that it took you to get that car repainted.
It sounds to me like that spray that they used to sell late at night for bald men. And you basically just painted your bald spot, whatever your hair color was, and poof, it's gone. No more bald spot.
That's the same thing that Trading Paints guy, John Travolta got hair out of a can, remember?
It was literally just spray paint.
Well, we should probably get serious and start talking about drive-through news kind of stuff. We talked about it the last bunch of episodes that we were going to go to the Midwest. We were going to be in South Bend, Indiana for Automotive History Live. Well, we went a little bit further than that. We went to the great state of Wisconsin. We put over 2,000 miles on my wife's space shuttle.
That's why it's throwing an engine code.
Yeah, right? Did not like that at all.
You surpass its useful life.
I mean, it's a Chrysler product, so what can you say?
Yeah.
I'd never been to Wisconsin. It was one of the few states I have not visited in the United States. And I have to say, I was left going, looks exactly like everything I've ever seen on TV or on the postcards. It's like, here's a farm, barn and a silo. Here's a whole bunch of green for a bunch of miles. And here's another barn and a silo and a bunch of green and a barn and a silo and a bunch of green. It's very flat. It's very much Dairyland. I mean, obviously, until you get up into like the northwest corner, you get closer to Minnesota or whatever, and you start to get into the Canadian shelf and all that kind of stuff. It's really flat. It's very green. It put into perspective what Road America must be like. I haven't been yet. It's on my bucket list.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did you get a chance to stop by Road America?
I
And then
wanted
the
to.
last turn, and then the straight, the start
It's
finish is
uphill.
that giant hill.
Exactly. I was like, there is some elevation in Wisconsin.
It's all at Road America.
Yeah, we made it all the way to Madison. So the capital of Wisconsin. So that was cool. Their Capitol building is beautiful. It's sort of like a miniature version of the Capitol building in DC, but you can go inside, you can go all the way up in the cupola and all this kind of things. Very, very cool. Neat little city. I mean, most of the city is the University of Wisconsin, so neither here nor there. We didn't get to Milwaukee. We didn't get to Green Bay, some of the other bigger cities. We had a bigger loop that we were doing, Chicago. And have you been to Wisconsin, Tanya?
No, we've
Have
not.
any interest in going to Wisconsin?
Sure, why not? Want to get some cheese.
We went to the place that apparently is rated the original best place to get Wisconsin cheese curds. They live up to the hype. It is the cheesiest. And then I sort of got burnt out on cheese curds because everybody has them.
I'm sure they do.
So then you're sort of like, do you compare them? Like, do you keep eating cheese curds until you're saturated and you can't? I don't want to see another cheese curd.
Till your intestines clog.
I really only had cheese curds at Buffalo Wild Wings. Are they really that much better in Wisconsin?
Yeah, they are the cheesiest, just like the
They're the
commercials say.
cheesiest.
So continuing on our way back, we closed the loop on an episode that we had recorded 4 years ago. Season 2 of Break Fix. We hooked up with Jim Wydilla from Volo, and he gave us a virtual tour of the museum because it was during COVID and they were under construction and a bunch of other stuff.
Next time I'm out that way, I'll do it. How far is it from Chicago?
45 minutes to an hour, depending on how you drive. It's not really out of the way. For us, it was just a slight detour because it's the way we were headed anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Oh, it's north of Chicago.
It's like northwest.
Okay, northwest. Okay.
Yeah. Because it wasn't that big of a detour as we were, on our way through Chicago both ways. We were like, let's stop off at Volo and go check it out. And the weather wasn't too great. It's kind of rainy anyway. So we're like, what's a day at a car museum, right? My kids are dragging their heels. They're like,
Of course.
uh,
Boring.
yeah, whatever. I wrote an article about it. It's on the club website, but I wanted to share some pictures with you guys if you hadn't had a chance to see it yet. This is why I say all of a sudden we walk in the door and their attitudes changed completely.
Wow.
Huge Batman diorama as soon as you come in. 89 Keaton Batmobile and the Bat Cycle in the sidecar, and you keep going around and there's more stuff, and the life-size Joker and the Joker mobile, like, is absolutely bonkers awesome. This place is unlike any other museum I have ever been to. So check this out. This is as soon as you come in, you see Batman. So you can see down here, you've got the Transformers Camaro in the back. That's Eleanor. Here's the Falcon XB GT from Mad Max with a wax recreation of Mel Gibson. It doesn't really look like Mel Gibson.
I think it's
Oh.
too tall. Isn't he like 4 feet tall?
But the Falcon is that is a mean looking car. I love that thing. I fell in love with that as a kid. I think it's absolutely amazing. So check this out. So we got the Interceptor from Mad Max. You can also see the Michael Andretti Indy car over there, which my daughter sat in. You can the kids can climb inside that and take pictures and stuff like that.
Whoa.
Here's one of the Ferraris from Ford versus Ferrari with the sister car to Max Kaiserman's GT40 that was at Simeone back for the Le Mans event. So it has its own room. It's all Ford versus Ferrari stuff. I thought this was super cool, although the cutouts are a little weird. Check this out. 66 Lincoln Futura Batmobile signed by George Barris. This is a legit Batmobile, and it's monstrously big. It is absolutely huge, but it's also awesome. And the Bat computer in the background, that William Shakespeare head thing that they would pop open to go into the Bat cave, that's legitimate. That's from the show. There's like all these props and stuff like all over the place with all these dioramas. Look at this. Look at this. Hot Pursuit Jump Mode Kit. Night Industries 2000 from Knight Rider. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is awesome, right? One of the coolest things, we're at Volo, and they don't do this all the time. I don't know if you guys heard about this. They have the world's fastest outhouse. Seen the videos of this thing? It's posted in the article about the Volo Museum trip. My wife took a video of it. I'm not going to play it here. I'm just going to show you a picture of this. Rocket-powered toilet. Look at this thing.
I feel like I've seen something like that on the mountain.
Too many questions here.
Yeah, but it's a square body on fire at the mountain. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a square body practically on fire too.
You like that?
Yeah, instead of emptying the tank when it's full, they just burn it.
It's an incinerator toilet. That's what this is.
Yep, exactly.
Hilarious part is Jess took the video in like 3 pieces, and the third part, unfortunately, I couldn't stitch it back in. It wasn't that great because she kind of almost dropped her camera as she was doing it. She was trying to get closer because there was a guy at the fence. I don't know where he got it or where he was hiding it. He literally busted out this telescoping forked marshmallow thing, and he was holding marshmallows out trying to roast them in as the flame was going. But I mean, this thing shot flames well beyond the edge of the picture. It was bonkers. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely.
It seems unnecessary.
But awesome at the same time. Like, come on.
Is it though?
I think it is. I thought overall the experience was pretty cool. Now they have buildings full of cars, like muscle cars and classic cars that are for sale. They've got 3 different antique malls. They've got a dinosaur park. They've got a Titanic exhibit full of cars from like 1912 that were on the ship or cousins of the ones that were on the ship, the same era, same model, all that kind of thing. They've got the train from Inception. They've got the train from Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kevin Kline. They've got an RV museum in there going back to like 1920s, like campers. They've got a tractor museum. They've got a Coney Island carousel inside of a building and it still works with like all the penny arcades and all that kind of, it's super cool. So it's very eclectic, it's very different, it's very interactive, like, and it's very family friendly. So highly recommend if you happen to be in that neck of the woods, or if you're listening to this and you're in the Chicago area and you've never been to Volo. I mean, it's like 45 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. It's like, why not go check it out, see some of the superstars from TV and movies and all that kind of thing. I think it's super cool. So well worth the trip.
Good to know.
Yeah, very much so. All right, let's talk about South Bend, Indiana. Another place I'd never been. It's a cute little town, also a college town. Notre Dame is right there. There's a lot of history, especially in the automotive industry. It's like a mini Detroit, right? You had Studebaker there and you had other companies that some of them still survive to this day that augment and supplement Detroit's automotive industry. And it's not that far from Michigan, to be honest with you. It's in that upper part of Indiana. So cute little town. Very welcoming. Everybody's super nice. The weather was good. The Concours was beautiful. They did the Concours of Lemons, and they also did the big fancy Concours as well. But I wanted to point out Concours of Lemons. We have a Lemons car. We're going to talk about that as we go along. This must be a Lemons thing with Ford Focuses. Check this out. Does this look familiar to anybody?
They didn't put a Band-Aid on
They didn't
there.
put a Band-Aid on. We put a Band-Aid on ours. It's much cuter. But so holding the car together, we have the same thing on our Focus that we had to do to hold the rear bumper onto the fender. Well, I was like, man, if this car was at Concours of Lemons, we could have certainly taken ours there. I mean, it doesn't run anyway, so might as well, you could just park it there. It'd be great. Perfect. So anyway, Automotive History Live. How can I sum it up? I think I'll just sum it up by saying this. My favorite picture. Tanya, you watched some of it. What did you think?
I watched some of it. I watched it on mute.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, I had a busy day at work, but I was working from home. So in between meetings, I tried to catch a couple minutes here and there. But it seemed like it was a nice event, a little differently organized.
Was this you?
That was indicative of maybe how it really was.
Still my favorite. Shout out to Bob Casey. It wasn't boring at all. It was actually a lot of fun. I think the keynote speaker, if you haven't heard of him before, we had Tom Cotter. He presented twice. He presented both days. Now got absorbed by Haggerty. He's the barn find guy. He goes all over the country looking for cars. He drove across the United States with Coleman, who lives outside of Summit Point. He remember that Model T that would run around Summit Point, the yellow one? And you just like, oh, it's all chitty chitty bang bang and whatever. And you show up in the paddock one day, an older guy. They took that car cross country following the Lincoln Highway. And it took him like, I don't know, 17 or 20 days or something like that. And he wrote a book about it. So that was super cool. And he's done some other cross country trips and all this kind of stuff. So Tom Cotter was a super interesting guy. And then, all the other speakers that were there talking about stuff. But then, as promised, we delivered. We were on stage. The whole Bianco Speciale thing, I think it went over really well. Our slide deck was very visually appealing, we were told. Very picture heavy. The car's gorgeous too. But one of the other things William surprised us with when we were there, and now I am the proud owner of one of these. I too can say I own a Bianco Speciale, because did you know Hot Wheels put them out in their vintage racing series? Look at that. So I haven't been able to find these anywhere. They were teased that they were going to be made. And these are very specific to the car that we were talking about. What does William do? He buys up as many of these as he can. I think he found like 35 or 37 of them and then gave them all away. It was like the coolest thing. So people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're not going to see these anywhere, because I don't know how he got a hold of them. I don't know who he called or what deal he made, but it was super cool. So I'm really excited to have one of these. So Brad, if you spot one, you better nab one of these.
Well, just good luck, I guess.
And I will say, I posted a link in the show notes to all of the presentations. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to it the first time around, or if you're like Tanya and the signal dropped midway through some of the presentations, don't know why, You can watch the fully recorded versions up on our YouTube channel. You can actually access it from our YouTube, the Society of Automotive Historians YouTube, or Studebaker National Museum. It's been simulcast across all of them, so you can get access to those files. All right, let's talk about the Focus a little bit, shall we? Because we don't want to wait till the end of the episode. Everybody's been waiting to say, what's been going on with the car. Obviously, we know the car is dead. So before we went on our Midwest tour, the wiring harness that took weeks and weeks and weeks to find for the Focus actually showed up like right before we left. So a lot of people were bugging me, hey, did you get it done? Did you get it done? And I'm like, no, because I haven't been home. So I will work on it as soon as I get back. That's exactly what we did, right, Tanya?
Yes.
And how was the experience? Did it live up to the YouTube video that you found?
Yes, it did. It was as simple.
It's amazing the amount of thought they put into making that part of it really, really easy. Everything lays on top of the engine.
Yeah, I mean, unlike other manufacturers where it would have been a spaghetti western mess or tied together and running behind really difficult places and you got to disassemble half the front of the motor to fish it out. There really was nothing other than taking the airbox out, which is like 2 bolts. Nothing in the way. It was very simple.
And the result was?
Car's still not running, but no. The result was a wiring harness coupled with our new ECU.
Because the old one doesn't work.
Because the old one definitely is dead and does not function. So we slowly started ticking off one issue at a time. So now we have an electrically functioning car.
It starts up, it idles.
Although it idled poorly at first.
Yes.
And then we had some weird battery gremlins that were making it flash and do weird things. But we fixed that. Because you regrounded it, but then they were still having battery issues. And then we realized the battery actually had an internal issue because we put a different battery in. It was basically brand new and everything was gold.
Thank you, Brad. Pumpkin spice, the donor provides.
But I took it for, quote, the test drive up and down the street, and you might have out accelerated it on a bicycle. I mean, it goes, but it goes slowly.
And it doesn't go past 5,000 RPM.
At best, because from your house to 2 houses down, completely floored, it took like
forever.
Those 2-3 houses to get to 4,000 RPM in first gear.
Terrible.
Needless to say, I think there's still a problem here.
You think?
Let's read some codes.
So we discovered it's what's holding it back at the moment from learning the throttle
is that it's a Ford.
Well, there's that found on Road Dead, right?
Well, we are fixing and repairing it daily right now.
We are. Yes, we 100% are. It's all emission stuff that's getting in our way. If we could get rid of the emission stuff, because the car's not road legal anymore anyway, it would run fine. But we can't because it's completely integrated into the system. And what Ford has done, unlike the German stuff that we're accustomed to, if anything in that chain fails, it has no redundancy where it'll continue to run. The car literally turns into a brick. I'm surprised we don't drive down the road and just see shoals of Ford Focuses lining the shoulders and the medians.
No. When was the last time you saw a Ford Focus on the road?
Because they're all dead.
Exactly.
It's unreal. These Gen 3s have and then every time we turn around, well, this is a known fail part on these models. Oh, this is a known fail part on, and this one had a recall. Oh, great. Wonderful. Everything is wrong with these Gen 3s. Needless to say, as we were going through the wiring, things got better. And we're so suddenly the error became very much more clear what it was. It's emissions related. We thought it was this emissions purge solenoid thing at the engine. And we looked at it. It had the original date of July of 2015 when the car was built. So we're oh man, that's got 237,000 miles on it. And it's just given up the goat. So we ordered a new one on Amazon because that's where you order car parts these days because you can't find them anywhere else. Put the part on. It was a 5-minute fix. And the car idles beautifully. All the problems they had with idle and stuff, gone, right, Tanya?
Yes.
For how long?
Yeah. Still not accelerate and throw an engine code.
Goes into limp mode.
And if you try too hard, then the
Yeah.
pedal just dies.
So here we are. We're literally rewinding the clock to Memorial Day. We're like, oh shit, we're back in the same boat we were in like 2 months ago. And what do we do now? We've replaced the pedal cluster, the throttle body, the engine loom, this evap thing,
ECU.
the ECU's new. Like, what is there left to change? Turns out, what is there left to change that we haven't changed yet, Tanya? Other than the mass airflow.
The car.
2 other emission sensors.
And where's the other one located? That's connected to the ECU.
Well, they both are, according to that wiring diagram. The one I have no idea where it is because I've yet to find out where this charcoal canister is. The other one is on the fuel tank.
Oh, yeah.
But there is, unlike German cars, or at least Volkswagens, or at least Volkswagens of certain eras, there's no access panel from inside the car to the fuel tank. So we have to drop the fuel tank to be able to find the sensor. But according to a 54-second YouTube video, it's 3 bolts and that's it. 3 screws.
This is the scary part about this car. When you realize how it's assembled, you're like, wow, that's super easy. And then you take a breath and you go, wow, it's a piece of crap. Like, it's held together by nothing. Like Scotch tape and like push pins is what holds this car together. Talk about penny pinching auto manufacturers.
Hey, but it's actually easy to work on.
It is. But the stuff that's breaking shouldn't break. I got 25-year-old emission stuff on VWs that still works. But you can also delete it after a certain point. So it's like, who cares? The next step, to Tanya's point, we have to drop the fuel tank.
It would be nice to read a part number off of it so we know what we're ordering.
And why is that? Why is that exactly? Because no 2 focuses are
the same, apparently. I have no idea. Because some things say they have this charcoal canister and other things say they don't have the charcoal canister. I have yet to see it. Maybe it's hidden somewhere we haven't seen. I don't know.
Even that solenoid in the front, Brad, I kid you not, there was like 12 different part numbers for it. And it was like different variations.
So we thinking about the fuel tank stuff or whatever, and the you need the part and everything. We ran into that with pumpkin spice, where it was like, does it have the plastic O-ring or does it have the metal O-ring? Like, which one do you get? You got to take it apart to know. But at least you could get to it from inside the car.
Yes, and Volkswagen's notorious for a mid-year split. Like, we're all sort of used to that. We're like, well, were you burnt in the early part of 2001 or the late part of 2001? Because, they decided to change this, that, and the other. This is just like, well, if it was built in Canada, they put it together this way. And if it was built in Mexico, it was built upside down and sideways, and half the stuff's in the front and the other stuff's in the back. And those Gen 3s, there's like 3 different front ends. The motor can be oriented differently in the sense that the intake can be on the back and not on the front. And the ones they built in the UK are completely different, even though it's the same car. You're like, oh, this is unreal. So there's too many variations. And then you got the nuances between the automatic and the manual and the sedan and the hatchback and the turbo and the non-turbo. It's like, oh, God, forget it, right? And it's like, ugh. So anyway, a little bit at a time. 2 steps forward, 4 steps backwards. But, it is what it is. We've got time. Summit Point is in October, so.
And you all are aware, obviously, but I will not be driving for Lemons, unfortunately. Not with my arm being in a sling.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
No.
I'll have your suit and Simpson on backup just in case they have a conniption about anything, right?
I mean, I'll bring it with me, yeah.
Just in case somebody's like, my suit's out of spec. Or Dan just comes in Dickies, that's because that's what he's going to Tractor Supply.
Yeah, because my suit will definitely fit Dan.
Baggy is as baggy does.
I mean, yeah, he'll have a lot of extra material in the leg department.
So, by the way, we did have a groundbreaking moment. I was messing around with the car and I did something that probably wasn't supposed to do, but I've done it on VW, so I figured why not do it on the Ford and see what happens. We know that these emission systems, a lot of them, they do continuity checks when like the car first fires up and whatever. And so if it finds a fault, then you're hosed. So what I did was I did an in-flight check engine code clear. Like I went into modules and I started like just wiping stuff out while the car was running. And at that point, it hadn't recycled through checking like continuity of like sensors and stuff yet. Dude, it suddenly woke up and ran like a scalded cat. And Tanya's like, what happened? Oh, was that red line? I'm like, yes, multiple times. 0 to red line, it was there. And then suddenly it caught up with itself and it was like, "Ugh, I don't like you." It was over. It was done.
I love how
Ugh.
your voice is like the AI from Resident Evil. You're all going to die down
No,
here.
no, it's you remember Droopy Dog? I don't like you.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah. I
on,
didn't, I didn't,
Dripple.
I didn't get that.
Uh, so that ruled out the pedal, the ECU, the throttle body, the master, because suddenly everything worked the way it was supposed to. So if we can solve this sensor problem, I think we're going to be golden. And then we can button up like 3 remaining things we need to do, like put the wiring back in for the radio and stuff like that, the radio headset for the paddock and stuff like that, for the helmets and whatnot. But yeah, that's all that's left. So crossing our fingers, we'll have this thing figured out here shortly.
Just for my own education,
Uh-huh.
a standalone ECU would eliminate all of this bullshit, right?
It would.
I understand that it costs a lot of money and everything like that, but just if we had a standalone ECU, it would eliminate all of these issues.
It would, but it would also require us to stand in front of Walmart like the Salvation Army people and just like start ringing bells, pocket change, because it is a 5-figure investment to put a standalone ECU on this motor. So,
Got it. Okay. Yeah, well, that's stupid.
yeah, we're trying everything we can. Plus, if we can pinpoint, hey, this is a known fail part, we can have extra known fail parts on the truck and then know the procedure of switching it out. But cross our fingers. Maybe these sensors haven't been changed in 10 years, 237,000 miles. I have to keep reminding folks of that. Maybe it won't happen again. So be it. So we'll figure it out. But luckily, none of the stuff is super expensive other than the fiasco we went through with the computer. But in the end, we needed the new computer because something's wrong with the old one. So to that end, we had a surprise visit. Mountain Man Dan showed up.
Oh,
Yeah. So we gave the old engine loom to Mountain Man Dan with the computer and said, here, take it to your Amish magicians in Pennsylvania and see if they can figure out what's wrong with it. So maybe we'll have a spare engine loom just in case something goes wrong there. But he did work on the car, Tanya. What is it that he did? So he could say he worked on it?
It was part of I think it was the pull cable for the hood latch. He put it back in the
Slot. And he says, see, now I worked on it. And I was like, oh my God. But Brad, you'll be impressed. He showed up in a vehicle, not blue like yours, but blue, metallic blue. I've never seen Dan drive a car like this.
What do you think it was?
And he makes fun of me because I was a custodian. I was a caretaker for a Pontiac Aztec, as we know. See, I never took ownership of said Pontiac Aztec. Would you venture a guess as to what Dan showed up in my house with?
It was not a truck.
It's a truckette. You could argue.
he did not show up in an El Camino.
No. Truck? No, he wouldn't do a truck.
Then what would be a truckette?
Like a bread van.
An HHR?
Worse than an HHR.
No, HHR would be so good. They're so fast.
PT Cruiser.
Yes, he showed up in an electric blue PT Cruiser. Ah! I threw up a little in my throat.
Was it the turbo one at least?
No, it's the slug one.
At first I didn't. I was like, who's in the? I hadn't seen your text message, but you were like, "Oh, come here, move the tires," and I was like, "Okay," but I hadn't seen your message yet. And so when I was looking out, I was like, "Who's over there?"
Thought it was the Amazon guy. I mean, who drives a PT Cruiser anymore?
I can't remember the last time I've actually seen one on the road.
Well, you could look at Dan's because it does drive. Apparently, it has some issues.
No surprise there.
Right? Again, I haven't seen a PT Cruiser in the wild in forever, but to have one in my driveway.
Why did he get a PT Cruiser?
Apparently, it's his daughter's, which I don't believe it.
First of all, why doesn't he just fix that neon that's up there and drive that if he needs all these
Dude,
cars?
there's a whole story there about how he money shifted the diesel and it's making noises that it's not supposed to, and this and that and the other thing.
Well, he talked to me about the diesel a while ago and I told him to park it. He didn't say it was, I didn't understand that it was a money shift.
Yeah, I heard he over revved it, is what he did.
Because I was like, if you're going down the road I'm going and your cam's going bad, you need to park it. It's a ticking time bomb.
100%, yeah.
But if you did something else.
It sounds self-inflicted.
And then his trucks are down, and then this one's rotted, and that one's falling apart, and blah, 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 blah. So he's driving a PT Cruiser. Boom. Mountain Man Dan, a PT Cruiser.
I've never seen someone have so many vehicles and so few of them work. I think if you take all 30 of his vehicles, you may be able to put together 3
that actually
good vehicles. Yes, 3 actually running driving vehicles.
I have to add to this because you know Dan's modus operandi is always spend as little as possible, try to get stuff for free or get it negotiated down where it's like next to nothing. So he's got like 900 square bodies that he all paid $4 for. He just picked up another square body and he spent a substantial amount of money on it. It's an amount of money that he said he would never spend on a vehicle like that. It's actually really nice. I saw pictures of it. No offense, Dan. I don't like the color. I don't like orange. It's orange and black, and it has a 500 cubic inch built motor in it
So it's 5 figures.
But does it runs?
when parked.
Okay, so I'm coming off the 5-figure price tag
No, no,
now.
no. You were right. You were right. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So what do you pay, 15 for it?
Yeah, in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. It looks very nice. He said he's going to put it in his garage. You all have been there. So
I mean, I guess if he empties his garage.
where is that stuff going to go? Because the garage is full.
I really hate to say it's going to end up like that white truck that he had. That white truck was so nice. I mean, I'm not a square body fan, but that white square body dually
Yeah.
that he destroyed because it just sat and just collected moss and funk and mold
It's
and
green now and it wasn't repainted.
yeah, exactly.
We're not hating on Dan. We all love Dan. He's a great guy. He'll give you the shirt off his back, literally, whether it has holes in it or not. But the whole thing, I was baffled. I was like, he's driving the PT Cruiser and he bought a new square body. I mean, holy smokes. Wow. All right. Good for you, man.
So basically what you're saying is it's just more of the same.
I feel like it's Dan's midlife crisis. It's really the PT Cruiser that I'm taking issue with. The square body, it's like it's another square body is a square body is a square body, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this episode and talk about other people that have lost their mind. Let's switch gears and talk about Volkswagen, shall we? First up on the list, all the cars that Volkswagen is getting rid of. Some of these are European, like the Skoda Fabia, the Cupra, the Q6 e-tron Sportback,
I've never even seen a Q6.
right? The Q5 Sportback. Oh, that must be a European one. They don't sell that in America.
Nope.
Internal combustion engine Porsche Boxster.
They've been going back and forth with that.
So they're getting rid of it before it even comes?
Yes. How about the Cayenne Coupe? Didn't we just talk about this? And this is from a reputable source. This is from Motor One. So I trust that what they're posting is probably real. But we just talked about these Cayenne Coupes, like either the last episode or the one before, how we thought they were funky looking and who would pay $200,000 for a low roof Cayenne. The Taycan, well, we already knew the Taycan was going away. The Taos, really?
That's shocking.
But this also says these are the cars that Volkswagen may kill. So this is all theorizing because they didn't get any confirmation or denial from Volkswagen about this. We've just heard that Volkswagen wants to kill 50% of their lineup by 2030, but
Mhm.
there's nothing that actually says that these are the cars that they're going to kill.
These might be the only cars in the lineup. Can you mention any other ones? I want to focus on this Jetta here more in a minute, but the Jetta's on the list according to Motor One.
Well, if that's true, if they got rid of the Jetta and they got rid of the Taos, what's left? The Golf?
My point,
What else is there?
because the ID Buzz is gone, the Passat's been gone.
ID Buzz allegedly coming back, but the Beetle's gone, the Passat's gone. The Taos is now the Tiguan Touareg, so there's nothing else if they get rid of it.
Well, and the Touareg might come back as an EV, but it might not because then you have the Atlas, and then the e-Golf isn't due back for a bunch of years. So there's the GTI, and allegedly that 5-cylinder Golf R, which we'll probably never see. So they've got 2 cars.
Are they just going to leave the US market? Nobody's going to. I mean, you have the group of people that will buy, quote, the hot hatch, but I'm sure the majority of their sales are the bigger cars, right? Like families aren't going to all crawl into
A Golf.
hatchbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still selling the Atlas, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the Atlas.
And did the Taos replace the...
The Tiguan. The Tiguan took over the Touareg in terms of size.
Okay, so they have the Atlas and the Tiguan. So they're going the way of Mitsubishi. They're just going to sell
3 cars at the end.
crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is still that nobody's going to want to buy.
Exactly. And then they'll have cut some of the Porsches except for the 911 and the Panamera. And then you'll be left with the Audis, the A4, the all-road, And they were talking about getting rid of the A8 already, so that's gone. So the big Luxo boat's out of the picture. So you'll have the A6, and then that's kind of it. Because if they don't bring any of the wagons over, then there's going to be a lot of cars. There's maybe going to be like 10 across the brands.
Why bother keeping the A6?
I don't know.
The A6 is like the Buick LeSabre of Audis. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, and I haven't seen.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've seen a new A6 and was like, man, that's a nice car. No, it's
You know which A6 was cool? You remember the RS6 with the V8 back in the
yeah,
early
they haven't
2000s?
made that and they haven't made that in like 2002 or something like
Yeah,
that.
20
It's
years.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a nice car. You know what else is not a nice car? I mean, it could be a nice car. Tanya, you just rented a Jetta, and that's why we got it up here on the screen. Tell us about your recent rental experience with a Jetta.
It left me disappointed. I mean, the car itself was fine, like in terms of, I mean, it went down the road. I felt like sitting in that a 20-year-old plus Volkswagen had nicer interior.
I've been saying this.
They went backwards and they made it chintzy. And coming off all of the recent Japanese cars that I also got to test drive, let's say already almost a year ago now, but nonetheless, I went through the Altima and the Hyundai, the Elantra, the Kia, and all that. And it's like, wow. I mean, there's always been a notion in the past that like the Japanese cars were a little bit inferior in that department. And I'm like, well, now you guys have switched roles and
Yeah.
like for the price. And I haven't sat in a Golf, and this was a sport, which I didn't even realize till I saw the little word on the pillar on the outside of the door.
That's all it was.
That it was the sport Jetta. I was like, oh, I had no idea. So I'm like, if this is also what a Golf is like, and you're gonna charge somebody $50,000+ by the time you've optioned it out, close to 60 if you got like the Autobahn Golf version. I'm like, this is what you're giving me? That's really disappointing, in my opinion.
I'll even
Yes.
take that icky 20-year-old plastic dip crap soft touch
Well, I know how to
stuff.
fix that now, so yeah.
Over the new stuff. Ugh.
Give me the soft touch back. I'll deal with it in 20 years.
I still need to deal with it in my car.
So we'll move on from that because Tanya, you said something last month. We were talking about Volkswagen's demise at this point, and you said something to the effect of like, well, it would be like a four-door Beetle.
I don't even remember saying that.
Yeah. I remember it. It stuck in my head for something that's like four-door Beetle. And then we sort of laughed about it. And I said, oh, call that the Panamera, right? Because you smash the bug and four-door and all that kind of thing. Maybe it's because Big Brother is always listening. China said, hold my Tsingtao.
Qingdao.
Because
yes, what was that thing called? It was called the
Punk Cat is the two-door
Punk
one.
Cat. There was like the Doja something.
Yes, and
something else.
this is the Aura Ballet Cat.
Aura. Oh my God, it's ugly, and they made it a four-door.
Look at this thing. It even has a little tail on it. Look.
It's heinous. It's like pieces of different cars just put together. Screams Doshivo to me.
A little bit, yes.
The first thing I thought was Doshivo. I have to say, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion.
You like it?
If it was a different color, if it was all one color with tinted windows, slammed,
Oh my God.
I could see it being something somebody would want to buy.
You have
Actually,
lost
if it was all black, it
your
would be like one of those British cabs.
The interior is really nice, though. I'll give it that.
I think the interior is terrible.
I like the retro-ness of it. It's very Fiat. But here's the thing. How do we know? Because Volkswagen does have factories in China, and they sell the Quantum from the 80s. They still make it today over in China. How do we know that Aura isn't like a Cupra or a Skoda, and VW is actually building these Beetles in China, and they're not just knockoffs like everybody says they are? You don't think Volkswagen would have gone after them by now?
No, Volkswagen does not own Aura. Aura is a dedicated electric vehicle brand owned by Great Wall Motor, a major Chinese automotive manufacturer.
They probably are going after them. We just don't know it.
I mean, if they were outside of losing money in Formula One, this must be the other way they're losing it too. But you would think that the Beetle's one of those things, like a Mini Cooper or any of those iconic cars from that time period, like you wouldn't be able to make a clone of them. They're so iconic. It's like, why would you go there? Why would you try to copy it? And this doesn't even try to hide the fact that it looks like a Beetle. Either way, I think VW is missing out And if they aren't going after this, they should. And they should just say, we'll make it better and then start selling it. Because as we've argued, and actually, speaking of argued about this, I saw an Instagram post and I didn't have time to go pull it up. But Richard Rollins, the guy from Gas Monkey Garage, he did a post about VW. Normally, I kind of skip over that stuff because it's always classic cars and muscle cars and yeah, beat your chest and motorcycles and all that kind of thing. But it was specifically about VW, and they got his opinion on it. It was sort of like hot take. He's on his soapbox, and he lays it out, and he's like, you should have kept building the Beetle. If you didn't build anything else, keep building the Beetle. You could have built the Beetle for 1,000 years and people would have continued to buy it. But you took away the one car that everybody wanted. And the point of his rant at the end was, VW, you're a bunch of dummies. Start building cars that people want. How long have we been saying that, right? So to hear it from a celebrity, he's not wrong. But then to follow that, I actually met Moto Man from Moto Man TV when I was at Revs back in January, and I got to talk to him and this and that. So I follow him on Instagram, and he posted something. And again, people are talking about VW. It's in the news because it's too big to fail, as we've already mentioned. And he's like, VW's solution to their financial woes is the Tiguan R line. What? GTI power in an SUV at $45,000. And I'm like, what? Who's going to buy that?
That's so stupid.
In today's market, your mom's minivan makes the same power as a GTI. Everything makes 300 horsepower these days. For the GTI to still make less than 300 horsepower, it's actually kind of pathetic. For as heavy as it is and the amount of power it makes with an unreliable 2-liter engine, as we already know, who's going to step up and say, yeah, I want an even heavier vehicle with the same power as a GTI?
Okay, I'm gonna throw a scenario out at you.
Please.
One of the classic Brads, would you rather this or X?
Yeah, huh?
So would you rather a brand new VW Tiguan R line
No.
for 45 grand, knowing what you know about VW electronics and all the recalls and stuff that they've had on these cars and everything, or take that same 45 grand
and burn it
and buy a used BMW X3M?
Oof.
With the 3-liter twin turbo,
Oof.
they're getting monster power out of them. You can have them for the 40, 45, 50K range.
Is walking an option?
That could be walking money.
No, what I mean is I'm going to be walking in either case because they're both going to be broken down.
So I've heard that BMW's reliability is better now than it has been in recent history or whatever. So that is the would you rather.
I wouldn't touch a BMW with a 10-foot pole.
No.
Mm-mm.
Tanya, would you get a Tiguan R or would you do a BMW X3M?
I'd ride the bus.
For the same money.
I could get a lot of Ubers for $45,000.
You get at least 10.
I can still probably afford to repair the Volkswagen.
Yeah, because anything with an M badge is like bad news.
True that.
God, I cringe. All those X5M owners, like I have a friend that has an X5M with that inverted V8. Ugh, oh, it's so, no thank you.
Yeah, but the X3M is just the standard 3-liter twin turbo that's in all the other cars. It's just got more power.
BMW should have never done turbos. That was not their thing.
Well.
So BMW plus turbo is bad.
What about the 2002 turbo?
That was not good either.
Okay.
All that to say, Volkswagen's earnings have dropped massively. There was a recent reporting down to 8.9. That is more than 50% decrease. You're the money guy, Brad. Is that the sign of a healthy company? They've lost over 50% of their earnings.
Wow. I had not seen that number, actually.
When you see it written out like that, it is actually very sad.
I mean, they're in trouble. And $8.9 billion isn't anything to sneeze at. You're like, oh, woe is them. It's just shy of 10 billion. But if you think about all the operating costs and operating expenses that they have globally, to then suddenly lose half of your profitability.
Over what length of time? Like, is this a year-over-year comparison?
This is a year-over-year.
This just happened?
Yeah, this was just reported. I saw this like last week.
Wow.
Are we sure this is true? Volkswagen reported a Q2 2026 operating profit of 3.47 billion euros, down 9.5% year on year, leading the company to slash its full year sales revenue outlook by lowering expectations up to a 3% decline. So something's not adding up.
It's still a lot. How much of that is Formula One? That's what I want to know.
Their net profit plunged 32.9% to 1.54 billion euros, impacted by a 500 million euro charge related to ending ID4 production in Tennessee and negative mix effects. I mean, they're on the decline. It's not good, but I don't know that they just lost 50%.
According to Gemini, Volkswagen Group's net income for fiscal year 2025 was 6.9 billion euros, approximately 7.55 billion US. This represented a 44% decline compared to their 2024 net profit of 12.4 billion. Sales revenue was 321.9 billion, remaining flat compared to 324.7 billion in 2024. Operating result 8.9 billion, down 53% from the
Yep.
previous year.
There it is.
If you're on their website, volkswagengroup.com, and you can read their profit numbers,
Everything is fine. It's glorious.
they're down 8.4% in sales. Their sales revenue is 158 billion euros in the first half so far, 2026. But the first half 2025 comparison, they were at the same number, actually. So they were also at 158. They are down slightly because it was 0.4 versus 0.1.
Yeah, but how much that is also jockeying around the fact that they just sold Bugatti. They got rid of their controlling interest in Rimac. Obviously, they're hemorrhaging money in Formula One. They've gotten rid of other things. They've gotten rid of plants. They've shut things down. So,
I mean, they're down.
Brad, you work these profit and loss statements. They can maneuver this so it looks like everything's fine, even though it isn't, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, accounting is an art. I mean, you can make things look good by, like you're saying, selling assets and things like that.
Yeah, but they have to report their earnings to their stakeholders and yada, yada, yada. They can't just bullshit numbers.
Well, of course,
Yeah, but if you sell Bugatti for $5 billion, isn't that an earning?
it is.
So you can make up the difference of your
Just
sales.
depending on how the sale is structured, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's to my point, right?
Yeah, but that's not a decline then. So their operating profit should be higher because if you took out the failing,
That would not be considered part of operating profit.
no, it wouldn't.
That would be not a retirement, but a sale of an asset,
Correct.
a
Right.
sale of fixed asset or whatever. That because operating should strictly be like sales and stuff.
This is all just rich people things because it's well above our pay grade how this is working in a massive conglomerate at Volkswagen. But we can tell, even as innocent bystanders, that things are not good and things are unhealthy. Sales are down. They're getting rid of factories. They're getting rid of brands.
They're getting rid of people.
Yeah, 100,000 people being laid off. Like, holy smokes.
Maybe now wasn't the right time to get into F1.
I've been saying that. But they're committed at least for the rest of the year. But let's talk about happier things. Let's talk about dreams. In a world where Volkswagen is king, we can build stuff like this. Because this is straight fantasy, folks. I know Tanya sent this to me. These are the recreation HSR manufacturer 851 Audi Sport Quattros, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, allegedly they're going to sell 84 of them for a mere $570,000.
They haven't built a single one of these. These are all renderings.
When you go to the bottom and they've got the orange, purple, green, and red one together, man, that purple is nice.
That's exactly. I was just thinking that. Oh, that purple.
It's all renderings.
Do I want to buy a house or do I want to buy one of these?
I mean,
It makes for a great screensaver. Like, I want to put this as my desktop wallpaper for sure.
if they actually make these, I wish I was a multi-million billionaire. I'd have one.
So first of all, there's not that many UR Quattros in existence to begin with. So unless we're doing the roof thing, we're making chassis from scratch. This means that they're doing the Singer thing and they're going to be buying up chassis at a loss because they'll be in any old condition.
That's why it costs $570,000.
They're all 40 plus years old at this point. But here's the deal. Everybody thinks this is new and revolutionary. Dialinks, a company in the UK, was doing this in the 90s where they were taking UR Quattros at that point, which were only 10 years old, and they were shortening them and they were re-raking the windshield by cutting Audi 4000s and putting, all the stuff they had to do to build replica sport Quattros. That whole company died off by the 2000s, right? Because obviously it wasn't profitable. It took too long. It was super expensive. And, it was 30 years ago at this point. But here we are trying to reboot that whole idea of the Dialinks Sport Quattros. I don't ever see a single one of these ever coming to fruition. I'm sorry. It's wishful thinking. They're beautiful. I too, like you, Tanya, have hope. But Even if they do make them, who's going to buy a $500,000 Audi that still handles like a 911 going backwards?
Yep. But I digress. You just thinking about AI renderings kind of got me thinking about
Well,
that.
I'm glad you brought that up because I found one too, and people are trying to pass this off as legitimate. And I knew this was bullshit from the word go because it said Passat.
Never seen it.
It's not real. It's completely rendered. And there's other pictures like from the back and all. And people are like, nice Audi, better looking A5 than the A5. Oh, that's really a BMW, blah, blah. Like the comments were hilarious, but most people were like, guys, the Passat isn't being made anymore, right? Like, this is fake, right? And like, oh my God. Oh yeah. 900,000 likes though. So, good for you. What about this? See, Brad, you said, where would I spend my money? What would I buy? Obviously, it's not $45,000, but how about this? Yes. Find of the day, 31 miles Audi RS6 Avant GT seeks a real enthusiast owner. Okay, great. But scrolling down all these wonderful pictures, it's basically brand new. This is the problem.
$200,000?
$202,000 was the original sticker price on this. So what's it going to sell for?
250,000.
And then you're still left with an Audi that has potential V8 issues because I've heard these cars have had problems with the motors, even the models below these.
What Audi hasn't had problems with the motors?
It is a Volkswagen.
What modern Audi hasn't had problems with the motors?
But it's pure awesomeness, though. I do not like this interior, though. It looks very, very cobbled together. Right? Am I wrong? It's clunky?
It's bleh. It's not elegant. For the price that costs for $200,000, I want to feel like I just walked into luxury.
I don't want it to be a Bentley, but I agree with you. I think it needs to be better than this. I know what this feels like, too. This hexagonal center cushion. This is not nice. This is like a step above those beads you put in a taxi cab. You know what I'm talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's switch gears and talk about a car that we're never going to get, but this is way nicer than that RS6 and probably costs a lot less. This is the Alfa Romeo Brutale. That means brutal.
And it's not real.
I'm like, that's AI, right?
Bullshit, that's AI. This is at Goodwood. Look at this.
The Alfa Romeo Brutale is a striking retro modern concept car designed by digital creator Simolule.
No,
it looks fake. All of that looks fake. It looks like a video game.
You can tell, like, when that turn right there, like he's taking the turn, he's heading straight off into the wall, and all of a sudden he's making the turn. It is not an official production model. The viral digital design imagines a 2+2 shooting brake coupe featuring the iconic 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 quadrifoglio engine, aggressive aerodynamics, and a classic Biscione Alfa grille.
Okay, AI's gotten really good, but this is really good looking. I mean, if they made something like this, would you not salivate over it? I mean, this is hot. This is hot.
The reason I went to look and see if this car was real is because it looks too good to be true.
Yeah.
It is too hot. But the weird thing, the front end with those two like circular headlights is very like E30 to me.
It's sexy. It's amazing. Why can't we make more cars that look good like this? What is wrong with people? They all got to look like Subaru Foresters now. Blah. We talked about BMW earlier, Brad, and you asked me if I should buy an X3M or that whatever, the Tiguan or whatever it was. We don't talk about BMW recalls very often. We know BMWs have problems, and we don't hear about recalls, but BMW recalls 29,000 hybrid sedans. First of all, I didn't know they had a hybrid sedan. Like all other hybrid vehicles, they warn you to park outside because it might melt your house to the ground.
Awesome.
Good stuff. ICE cars had 99 problems. None of them were this. Did you ever have your starter melt your car and then light your house on fire?
Not on its own.
Okay, just checking.
I've seen car fires of ICE engines, but usually not when parked. Like not when not running. I did see a square body try to burn down the forest once.
That's true. That's very true.
Yes.
Well, let's go across the ocean the other way this time. Let's talk about Asian domestic cars, Japanese, Koreans, and so on. This article from Motor One actually got updated because when I originally put it in our show notes, it was talking about Nissan killing off the Altima. And I said, man, this is clickbait. I said, first you're telling me the Jetta's going away. Now the Altima's going away. And it says, wait, the Altima is not dead yet. Nissan is reshuffling their lineup. I was like, how can you kill the cockroach of cars? Why would Nissan stop producing their best-selling vehicle?
Did we decide it's clickbait or is this real?
I decided that it's clickbait because you know what? Nissan would be stupid because, again, why would you kill off your best-selling car?
Yes, the Nissan Altima is officially scheduled to be discontinued after the 2026 model year, ending a 34-year run for the popular midsize sedan.
34 hasn't been around that long, has it?
The Nissan Altima has been like forever, since 1992.
That's a long run. Why would you kill off this car?
Yeah, you don't remember the early Nissan Altimas? They looked like you never could tell an Altima from Maxima, but they were like the little round Sentra looking ones.
Oh yeah, this one. Like that, the old Altima. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you never see those on the road anymore. The really bulbous looking ones.
Yeah, they finally all died.
Why am I looking for Altima
Just
pictures?
go to Wikipedia. Go to Wikipedia.
I could, yes.
We've reached a new low on the show.
Searching for
We're
Altima.
researching Nissan Altimas.
Here we go. Here we go.
That takes me back. I forgot about these.
Why the 2026 model is your last chance to own this midsize icon. If you've heard the Nissan Altima is being discontinued, you're not imagining things, but the story is more complicated than a simple yes or no. The key fact is this: the Altima is officially continuing into the 2026 model year, even after earlier reports suggested it would end after 2025. What's confirmed? The Altima continues for 2026. Car and Driver reports blah, blah, blah. The 26 Altima is reduced to the SV and SR trims with S and SL removed. Blah, blah, blah. Why the, quote, Altima is ending rumor started. The rumor had real fuel behind it. Major outlets reported that Nissan had indicated 2025 would be the Altima's final year, then later coverage described Nissan reversing and bringing it back for 26. On top of that, Nissan has been actively trimming its sedan lineup in recent years, which makes the discontinuation narrative feel believable to shoppers. So, is 2026 truly your, quote, last chance? Here's the honest answer. Nissan has confirmed the Altima for 2026, but there is no definitive official statement in the sources above that 2026 is the final model year. What we can say confidently is that the Altima's long-term future has been uncertain enough that reputable publications have covered potential end-of-line plans and reversals.
You said a lot of words and said nothing at the same time.
I am so frustrated as I was reading that to be like, why are you contradicting? Why is this even a headline then? Why would you say it's your last chance? Then you go on to say that Nissan has not officially said anything.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then you have Edmunds going, no, the Nissan Altima isn't dead for 2027.
Did you see the link I just put in the chat?
Yeah, I did.
That is the oldest Nissan Altima you can find online right now. Is
Nice.
this
Let me
next
see.
one, a 95 Nissan Altima.
Hey.
$29.99. Look at that.
See, the problem is when you see these, it's so confusing to know if you're seeing a Sentra,
Yeah,
because the Sentra looked just like that back then.
fine quality machine right there.
$3,000. Wait, hold on. It says low mileage. Let's investigate this. Holy crap, y'all. Y'all, this is a deal. This is a car that's going to outlive you. It only has 78,000 miles on it.
God.
This is barely broken in for an Altima. This has so much life left in it. It has so much to give you.
I've got another would you rather.
Oh boy, here we go.
A 95 Nissan Altima or a 95 Toyota Corolla. If they were the same price, which one do you think is going to last longer?
I gotta refresh myself what the 95 Corolla looked like. Oh.
Oh man, it's this one.
The Altima's got 50 horsepower on it. I think that Corolla will outlive the Altima.
I don't think so. These were junk and they looked terrible. They were cheap.
I swear to God, I just passed one on the road the other day.
How many other Corollas was it made from to keep it
I
going?
don't know. The air conditioner didn't work because his windows were down. That's for sure.
That's terrible. So anyway, speaking of the kids and speaking of Japanese cars, my littlest one, literally just yesterday, walking through a Walmart parking lot, she takes my hand. She's like, Dad, we need to go look at this other car over here. And I'm like, it's very rare that my littlest one wants to go see a car in person, right? So I walk up. It is a second gen metallic green Hyundai Veloster. And not just whatever Veloster. It's the one with the 3 doors. I had forgotten that those second gens, they're like an AMC Pacer. It's got a long driver door, and then it's got like a short passenger door, and then a rear door. So it has 3 doors, not counting the hatchback. She walked around it. She was looking at it. She's like, Dad, I really like this. I'm like, I guess there's a car for everybody out there. I was like, all right.
He is the one that didn't want you to unload the Aztec after all.
That is very true. She was upset by that. She thought that thing was really neat.
Wow.
There's something to that.
I feel like the perfect car for her is going to be that new Honda Element
That might be true. Or an old Honda Element for that matter.
or an old Honda Element. Yeah.
She might like that. Not to get too far away from Nissan, this partnership thing, they're still talking about it. I don't know why.
It did.
I don't even know why the Drive is talking about this. And the way this is written, Nissan got cold feet. I thought Honda did their due diligence and they're like, man, we're not touching that. I thought the deal was like until Nissan could show that it was moving in the direction of profitability, that they weren't going to invest any money in it. And if you read this, it's all like, Nissan is the one that backed out. And I'm like, I don't think so, because they're in trouble. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh, I heard this. I was not listening to NPR, Brad, but I heard this on the radio. Japanese neuroscientists have said that manual transmissions are good for your brain.
I
I
mean,
mean, duh.
Let's let that sink in for a minute.
anything where you're stimulating your mind is good for your brain. The act of having a manual requires you to be able to do more than one thing at once.
It's like being a drummer. Yeah. I'm all for it.
Cursive handwriting stimulates your brain. It's supposed to help its development.
Even at our ripe old age.
They say as you get older, playing mind games and Sudoku and crossword puzzles and all that is all healthy things for your brain to keep it active, basically keeping it moving as opposed to just vegetating and doom scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, and whatever the heck.
It would make everybody safer too.
It would help because you definitely can't be as distracted, though there are mofos who would still not pay attention, so it doesn't really matter. A mofo is going to do what a mofo is going to do.
That's an official statement. I love it. And I know that this would normally be classified as Florida Man or Are You Faster Than an Interceptor? But since we're talking about manual transmissions and we're talking about Japanese cars, did you guys see this thing on Instagram? I didn't understand what was happening here. I kind of felt like this was that Jackie Chan movie that we reviewed with Steve and Izzy. The cop is literally going to impound the car and he's going to drive it away. And this is in New York City. So I don't know if there was some street racing going on, but he's like confused. He doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know how to drive it. And then he finally kind of gets it going at one point. And then he just, if you listen to it with the audio, he makes it like 10 feet and then stalls out and then just like, blah, and that's like the end of it and it dies. Then he's done.
I would have been so pissed because I'd been like, don't grind my gears and burn my clutch.
Well, that was one of the comments. He was like, car got impounded, needs new clutch. I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, that's terrible.
Does it say why it was being impounded in the first place?
I think it was illegal street racing, I think,
Yeah.
or something. The very beginning of the video, you see like tons of cars out. So I'm assuming it
Some
had
Fast
something to do
and the
with it.
Furious stuff going on. But it's nice to see a wide body first gen RX-7. That's what I was excited about. It wasn't the illegal street racing. He was parked because that's what a lot of those people, they're just all parked. He didn't have a hood on that car. That's the problem. In New York, that's probably illegal. It's unsafe to drive around without a hood on. All right, let's talk about Toyota. I'm really confused. Tanya, it was really funny. I posted something and then you posted something like right behind me. Is it the Celica or is it this Yaris MR2 thing? What are they doing? Do we have two mid-engine cars coming?
Yes, technically, but then there's a whole other rendering that looks like something else completely.
Yes, the black one that was at Fuji, right?
Mm-hmm. So I don't understand which one's which because the one where they're like MR2 development car spot, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's a Corolla.
That's a Yaris right here, whatever this is.
Why we're calling that, I have no idea. I've seen several different things, but yes, to that end, they are supposed to be bringing back the Celica, which was something that was mentioned several drive-thrus ago. And then they're also allegedly trying to bring back this MR2.
And they debuted something Celica-like during one of the WRC trial stages too, that Toyota was messing around with this larger car. And they're like, oh, it might be the Celica, it might not. I'm really confused.
I have no idea.
I don't know what Toyota's doing, but why are they doing this? Because I thought all their enthusiast people at the head of the company had sort of checked out and left because they put the bean count. Why would they be doing this? Like, who is their target market? It seems foolish
idea.
unless they're just trying to keep people's attention.
I mean, I hope they make them.
Yeah.
Because Volkswagen's not making cars anybody wants to buy anymore.
And the Boxster's going away, so there's another mid-engine runabout. You got to shore that up. But then there was talk about that article from PCA where Porsche might get in bed with Toyota to make this mid-engine. I'm like, what? Whatever. I'm sort of over it. But I do want to talk about other mid-engine cars for a second. The new Lotus Emira 420 Sport was, I guess, leaked or released. I don't know if these are real or renders. I don't understand these scoops in the hood. I think they're terrible looking.
It's too McLaren and Ferrari. Like that.
Yes.
Why do all the cars need to look all the same?
As Matt used to say, there's only one design that cheats the wind. I like a lot of Lotuses, and I don't like this one. Like, I find myself just staring at the background in this picture and trying to ignore the car. Awful. I don't know why this came to mind. We're talking about British cars, but really I want to talk about Swedish cars. Last month, we made a comment about Polestar going away because the Chinese ownership. Mercedes is still on the table. We're not sure what's going on there. Maybe they're going to exit stage right with Volkswagen and all that kind of stuff. But we were kind of speculating as to why Volvo and not Polestar. It sort of didn't add up and it didn't make sense. And it dawned on me after the episode why Volvo, why they would keep Volvo around. You know what it has to do with? It has nothing to do with the cars. It has 100% to do with the trucking industry. I had this light bulb moment, Volvo semi-trucks. That's what it is, because the trucking industry relies on Volvo and Volvo heavy equipment, big stuff like JCB size stuff or earth movers and stuff like that. Polestar isn't in that market. It's easy to get rid of the cars, and then EV that is underperforming and underselling, who cares? But it's harder to get rid of Volvo because of where they've implanted themselves in our infrastructure. Getting rid of Volvo would have a huge impact. I'm not saying that Freightliner or International or Mack couldn't step up to the plate, but there's a lot of Volvo semis. When you start paying attention, there's a ton of them on the road.
Are you saying they're too big to deport
Yeah.
instead of too big to fail?
We'll forgive some Chinese ownership to keep Volvo semi trucks on the road. And by the way, they're extremely popular in the racing paddock. If you were ever to walk up and down an IMSA paddock, a lot of those race cars are towed by Volvo trucks. It affects us deeply on the motorsport side of the house. All right. So, Brad, I know your favorite section of the drive-thru is always lost and found. And you found that Altima for us. I mean, what a great deal that was. I found something for you this month.
Oh, my God.
How about a 1998 Cybertruck? And you might say to yourself, 1998? Wait, but Tesla wasn't even around in 1998. This is the Plyber truck and then some. Look at this. Is like a Ford van at one point.
Yeah.
Did Daniel build this?
This thing is awesome. What are you talking about? Look at that craftsmanship. I bet those windshield wipers even work. It looks like it might not leak.
What is this built on?
I think it's a Ford Econoline.
I don't know. The front end is screaming Dodge Dakota to me. Or Mazda B2000 or 200, whatever the truck was.
It's got to be beefier than that because these are 6-bolt wheels. So those little trucks weren't 6-bolt.
That's true.
This looks like a Ford because it's got a short nose. So it's got to be a van that they cut. And they took the roof of the van and slammed it down.
Where's the original post?
It was on Facebook. 1998 Cybertruck, McDonough, Georgia, $5,800.
I have more details.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Again, thanks to Gemini. I'm just plugging Gemini here and there.
Uh-huh.
It is a 1998 Mitsubishi L200.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And it has 225,000 miles.
I love it.
I don't know if I've ever seen one of these in the States.
Every time I try to click on one of these, it tells me it's like a bad site. You're going to get a virus by clicking on this picture kind of thing.
Very ugly truck. But it is a truck.
Well, there you have it. It's a funky little truck. Yeah, okay. It's like these hard body Mitsubishis from back in the day.
I don't know that I've ever seen one of these.
All right.
Well, there you go. The more you know.
So would you buy this or a Nissan Altima? See, I think I'd take that $45,000 you lent me earlier to buy a Tiguan or a BMW. I'd buy this. Tanya is dying.
No, sorry, I'm watching something and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to share this later.
Yeah, please do.
This is NSFW.
Oh boy, it's going to be a good one. Well, speaking of NSFW, how about this? I love this picture. I kept this only because of the picture. Look at this, Tanya.
Oh.
God.
This is my favorite thing of AI. This is like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. It's just Elons hugging each other and handshaking. This is the best thing I've ever seen. This is so great. But in all seriousness, Elon hints at Tesla SpaceX merger. Is that even really a merger? I mean, to the point of the picture when it's all the same owner?
Whatever.
I mean, this is the sort of buffoonery when you have that kind of money that you can do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. Well, my expectations are thoroughly lowered, but I also think at the same time, I found the cause of global warming. Just take a look at this video. What is the fascination? What is the point of running your exhaust through your hood and then blowing smoke?
So that the rest of us can't have nice things.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Just wait. Look at this. Look at this. Look.
So the rest of us can't have nice things.
It looks like a factory in Gary, Indiana. Look at this.
So stupid.
And when you drive down the road with your exhaust in front of your windshield,
what the hell do you see? You're smoke screening yourself.
And if you happen to open your sunroof or your passenger window, exhaust is meant to exhaust behind the driver, right?
Yeah, into somebody else's mouth, not your own.
It would be funny, though, if it had one of those little flappers like a tractor. You know, I'm talking about the boop, 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 boop. That's ridiculous. And that stack is like 6 inches easily. I don't get it. Well, with that said, I guess it's time for Florida Man.
Oh no, are we there already?
We are there already.
Here we go.
Tanya, before you take us on a trip around the United States and maybe around the world, I brought you one. Found this very interesting.
Where in the world is Florida Man?
Montana is where we're going. To the most pulled over man in the United States. He drives a giant banana.
Good Lord.
A 23-foot long banana with the license plate split. Come on. That's dad jokes and then some. Look at this thing.
But why does he keep getting pulled over?
I mean, wouldn't you want to pull over a 23-foot long banana?
No.
Why not?
The last time he was pulled over was for an issue with his license plate.
Here's a quote from the police officer. "We've stopped speeders, distracted drivers, and even a few unusual vehicles, but this one definitely stands out. The big banana car was stopped cruising near Billings, Montana today. While it may be appealing, traffic laws still apply to fruit. Safe travels, Montana." Used to be a Ford F-150. That's legit.
But look at the joy that it brings.
The big banana.
BANANAS.
Oh my God. All right, what do you got for us?
Well, there's been some weather down in Texas.
Well, this looks like your old neighborhood.
Well, every neighborhood looks like it does not. But Houston area driver gets creative to avoid the floodwaters. So just wait for it. I mean, I don't see a problem.
I mean, Mercedes can't get wet.
I mean, good for him.
Wow. Wow. Look at that.
I mean, eventually he has to get down in it, but
he avoided a good portion of it.
There's enough news that tells you to turn around, don't drown, but
Look at that Altima coming through. Or was that a Passat?
That's a Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah, it's a Jetta. Can't tell the difference. They're all the same.
I mean, these people should not be driving through that, but hey.
Where's the Tesla dead in the middle of this water? That's what I want to see. God. And she's just standing there like it's nothing happening.
Well, it's another Tuesday in a storm.
Texas, where are we going next?
Now we're going to Missouri.
Oh, boy.
And this is like, you gotta get to the video.
Boy.
Gotta get to the video. The car's rolling. He's getting pulled over. He jumps out. The car's still rolling. Whoop!
Yes! Yes! Oh, man. That guy gets a 10. That's like an Olympic dive. Holy crap. Wow.
And his name is Gavin Thor Lundgren.
Look at this. Boom. He doesn't even know if there's water down there. Would you jump off a bridge? Obviously, this guy does.
If everybody else is doing it.
I'm sure he was on something.
Boom.
Bloop, 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 like I'm pretending I'm a dolphin.
That's awesome.
But they did find him.
So obviously he survived because they caught him, right?
They did catch
Of
him.
course,
They did
because
apprehend
they
him.
always do.
The French judge only gave him 7 points. I gave him an 11 to make up the difference. That was a great dive. That was amazing.
So this next one is also in, all the rest of these are in Florida. Quite frankly, it's been a busy month. So this was 4th of July, and this MFer was going down 95.
Yes.
And watch, watch. Whoop, whoop.
Looks like a video game.
I mean, it's not
Boom.
funny. It's not funny, actually.
Wow.
Can you imagine if you got hit by a firework? Talk about vehicles catching on fire.
What is he towing behind him? Is that like hay?
I don't fucking know.
Is that a boat? It's a boat.
Well, it's Florida. Of course it's a boat.
Could have been a lawnmower.
Wow.
And they were in the helicopter following him for 10 miles. He got arrested and charged. So the passenger in the vehicle was arrested and charged with shooting a deadly missile from a moving vehicle.
A deadly missile.
So when you shoot a firework out of your car, it is now a deadly missile.
That's a bit extreme. I mean, it's not a tomahawk or a scud or something. I mean, come on, deadly missile.
Hey, people get seriously injured every 4th of July setting off fireworks.
Wow.
They lose body parts. They get 3rd-degree burns.
Do they lose brain cells too?
They didn't have many to begin with.
I mean, this is actually a serious thing. I mean, if that hits somebody's car, can you imagine you just set something that's fire into, like, if it hit somebody's car, you could explode it.
Imagine if it hit an EV. Again, a Tesla.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bad things could have happened. Okay. Yeah, so this one's great too. So, Florida man, they pull him over because he's crashed into the side of a building. Of course, he's not wearing a shirt, because why would you be wearing a shirt?
Hold on a sec. Hold on. Wait. Brad, you got to be. Why do these two look like they're posing for a dating app? Like, what is happening in this picture?
It's the SNL skit, the ambiguously gay duo.
All right, keep going.
I wasn't driving, not my car.
That's the drugs aren't mine, officer.
I'm not with them, Superman.
And then it was the car's alignment's fault.
What?
The alignment was off, and he hit the building.
Yep.
And then it was, well, I had 2 shots that night. And then, well, see, I'm not great at math, so counting drinks isn't really my strong suit. So it was the car's alignment and his poor math skills.
This reminds me of the lady. Did you see that article of the lady in New Mexico that drove into the side of a building because it was the mural of like a tunnel, like kind of like Looney Tunes? So she turned and drove into the building and just like crashed into it. It was pretty hilarious, actually. Maybe her alignment was off too, or maybe her math skills weren't that great. Good God. This last one. What do we got? Another, man, you're racking up Florida man this month.
This last one, however, I recommend not to. Please watch it first by yourself. There's explicit shit in it. You kind of got to watch it the whole way through. It's going to like catch you off guard in the first thing. But if you watch the whole thing through and then he circles back to it at the end, then you're like, oh my God.
So he's in the cop car.
You have to be listening to the cop.
What is he doing? Did he just, what was that? What?
Apparently, this guy was apprehended for driving on a suspended license, and he was on his way to his court-ordered drug class because of that. Apparently, he had something called a Whizzinator, which is a fake bladder with I don't know what liquid in it, and then it's wired to a heating pad with a faux pizzle connected to it.
Wow. Okay.
To make it convincing.
Did Snoop Dogg come up with this? The Whizzle, the Whizzinator, and the Whizzle?
The pizzle.
This is this news recording's polite way of saying it. I saw another one where they were more blunt.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, needless to say, the guy's in the back of the cop car. He pulls something out of his pants discreetly. He's being videoed by the onboard footage the whole time. Chucks it across the seat. It falls in between the door and like the seat. The cop comes around, opens the door. He's like, the hell is this? I don't know. What do you mean? What's what? I don't know what that is. I don't know where it came from. He's like, bull fucking shit.
It's the Whizzinator.
He's like, bullshit, I clean this car every day. I know what's in this car. You just threw a pee bag.
Wow. Wow. Florida. Florida. God.
I hope that person gets the help they need.
You know. Ugh. Well, with that, it's time we go behind the pit wall. Talk about motorsports news.
I didn't post about this, but you found it yourself.
I did. Tom Cruise officially says Days of Thunder sequel moving forward.
Paramount has apparently greenlit it.
Tom Cruise will reprise the role of Cole Trickle, blah, 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 and, all this kind of stuff. Jerry Bruckheimer's coming back. I mean, they're going to try to bring back, I guess, as much of the original cast as possible.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm going to bring back as much of the original cast as possible. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Will not be there. Do we really think Nicole Kidman's coming back?
They said as much as possible, you see.
Because then I want to be like, who's left of the cast?
John C. Reilly, he'll come back.
He will, but he wasn't really huge. So other than if they don't get Mike Rooker back.
But wasn't John C. Reilly Duvall's son or something like that? So he would take over for the fact of, or he was Duvall's like second in command, so he would take over for Duvall since Duvall's gone.
I guess he could. They could bring back Carl Hughes, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, continue.
Basically, the long of the short is sequel is in development, reported to include research on the modern NASCAR world, bringing it into 2026 and beyond. And Jeff Gordon has expressed interest in being part of the movie. So there you go. Boom.
Good. I'll watch it.
Moving on from NASCAR, I just want to point out we had our first Voices of Endurance episode. We called it Saving Sebring. It was with Charles Mendez and Dave Cowart. And if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's available on Patreon right now. The remastered version will not be out for a while, but it's super cool. Charles came on and did his Le Mans story when we were still running Evening with the Legend. And Dave Cowart is the guy who won the GTO championship in the famous Red Lobster BMW M1 back in the late 70s, early 80s. So really cool to hear their take, their part in keeping Sebring alive during one of its darkest times, basically setting it onto the path that it is on today, which is very, very cool. So interesting story there. I do want to talk about virtual stuff for just a moment because I belly ached for a long time. It was Assetto Corsa's fault. Transmission in the F40 is fragile and blah, 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 all this stuff. Remember, I've been belly aching about it for a while, right? Well, it turns out this hunk of junk is the real problem with my setup. My Moza HGP shifter finally gave up the goat. Once it started to rear its ugly head with the same issues in other software where it had never had the problem before, I decided to put it to the side. I gave David Middleton a call at MIE Racing and said, what do I do next? And he said, you go get yourself a Sim Magic. And I was like, ooh, and I did exactly that, which I can buy off the shelf at Micro Center. And Micro Center price matched with the manufacturer. So shout out to them. I saved a bunch of money because the manufacturer was running a promotion. They matched the price. You still had to pay tax, but I didn't have to worry about the shipping because the new shifter's super heavy. But it's very, very nice. Adjustable feedback as well, and it can be an H pattern or a sequential. So I'm very, very happy with it. Different build because the old one was basically little micro switches. So every time the shifter would hit a micro switch, it would tell it what to do. The new one uses a Hall sensor, so it's all magnetic. It's very, very precise. It's really, really nice. I'm very happy with doing that. I should have probably switched to it a long time ago. But I will say, been using the sim more to practice and, sit down for a couple hours at a time, just racing Road Atlanta or Mid-Ohio, or whatever it is, kind of getting ready. I mean, it's not the same as endurance racing, but you got to get yourself in the mindset of staying focused for a couple hours at a time when you're behind the wheel. So I've had zero issues, been able to run the sim for hours on end, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So can't say enough good things about the Sim Magic there.
Your initial complaint was about the programming for the actual F40 race car.
Yes.
Do you still have the same problems?
The F40 is still a little fragile, but can make it to the end of a race without it blowing up. I haven't tried to drive the F40 for an hour. I've actually been driving the Hyundai i30, which is, it's not necessarily a Veloster. It's like the one that they didn't sell here because I wanted something that was a hot hatch, similar power to a Focus, kind of, to just be more realistic, even though a Focus isn't available. So I haven't gone back. I've done some sprints with the F40 and it's been fine. You can still hear it every now and again where it's like, and you're like, oh, come on. So there's a little bit of calibration there that you can still do and can tweak all that stuff, but 6 of 1. So here's something I found interesting. The Goodwood Road Racing Club of America just feels like an oxymoron saying it. I'll say it again. The Goodwood Road Racing Club of America. You can become a member starting in January, and it's based out of California. It's all about road racing in the style of Goodwood. I get it, but I don't get it. Pose the question: become a member of the Goodwood Road Racing Club or become a member of Enduroverse? What do you think?
I guess it would come down to cost for me. Cost and benefits.
Enduroverse is one of our sponsors, so it'd be ideal.
I choose Enduroverse. I think that would be a great option.
Vintage racing isn't always what it's cracked up to be. I will say this is NSFW, sort of like Tanya's thing. I don't know if you guys watch this, but check this out. There are some vintage cars I just will not find myself ever in.
Ooh, did he die?
I don't know how he survived.
I guess he did survive.
This isn't a video game. This is Goodwood.
This is not AI.
So white helmet, it's this car right here, whatever this Alfa Romeo is or Formula Junior or something like that. So here he is, white helmet guy, goes off backwards, hits the wall, and gets flung out of the car like a rag doll.
Man, yeah.
Brutal.
And sent back almost completely across the track.
There he is, white helmet, walking around.
He's concussed. He's dazed. He doesn't know anything. He's running off pure adrenaline right there.
I'm amazed he didn't snap his neck. Absolutely unreal. But I don't know about you guys. There are no cars that scare me, but these cars scare me. I don't think I could run and operate these kinds of cars at speed. I'm sorry. Like, there's risk and then there's that. Those are just foolish.
No, I'm good.
Oof. No, thank you. That being said, our motorsports news is brought to you in part by Enduroverse, powered by Hyperdev, America's premier endurance racing community. So check it out online and become a member at enduroverse.com.
So if you're not quite ready to hit the track, don't forget that you can find tons of upcoming local shows and events at ultimate reference for car enthusiasts, collectorcarguide.net.
If you're hearing us for the first time, be sure to jump back into our podcast catalog and check out other programs we offer, like the Ferrari Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Voices of Endurance, Automotive History Live, the Racers Roundtable, Formula Fanatics, Break Fix, and of course, the Drive-Thru.
And if you enjoy our various podcasts, there's a great way for you to support our creators on the MPN. There's tons of extras and bonuses to explore on our updated Patreon page. Learn more about our bonus and behind-the-scenes content, get early access to upcoming episodes, or support our 24 Hours of Lemons team when you consider becoming a Break Fix VIP by visiting patreon.com/GT Motorsports. As always, we would like to thank our co-host and executive producer, Tanya, and all the fans, friends, and family who support Grand Touring Motorsports, as well as the Motoring Podcast Network. Without you, none of this would be possible.
No outro?
Otro.
There it is. Brad, you missed an opportunity last month because you no longer announce the episode numbers.
I don't?
You don't. You haven't done that for a while.
Oh.
Do you even know what episode this one is?
I thought I did last month though.
No, you did.
I thought I said, welcome to drive-through number 69.
No, you missed every opportunity to take a crack.
I'm pretty sure I actually said that. I'm pretty sure. You cut it out. You cut it out.
Oh, wow. We went Dave Coulier on this. Wow.
Yes, we did. Cut it out. Everywhere you go.
Number 70. Can you believe we have 70 news episodes? It would actually be 72 if we hadn't missed 2 months out of the last 6 years. But that's more than some podcasts have by themselves. We have 70 news episodes.
This is certainly longer than I thought we would be going.
Hey now. It's only up from here, my man. It's only up from here.
If only we had 70 listeners.
We actually have a lot more than 70 Arbitron rated listeners. We're doing better.
It does not count if you listen to it 70 times during editing.
I gotta do something when I'm on my walks.
The Drive-Thru is our monthly news episode and is sponsored in part by organizations like CollectorCarGuide.net, Project Motoring, Garage Style Magazine, the Exotic Car Marketplace, and many others. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of The Drive-Thru, look no further than www.motoringpodcast.net. Click About and then Advertising. Thank you again to everyone that supports the Motoring Podcast Network, Grand Touring Motorsports, our podcast Break Fix, and all the other services we provide.